when the IRS lost the 20-year court case. I never met a real estate deal I didn't want to do. Those tax dollars stay in your pocket being used for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Diversified. I am your host, as you already know, if you're a subscriber, Jacqueline Landry here. I am here with a very special guest, Dave Foster. Welcome, Dave, to the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let's just jump right into this. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dave. So I'm sure this isn't exactly all that he's about, but let me go for it and see how this goes. So Dave is a qualified intermediary for 1031 exchanges and founder of the 1031 Investor. And I put that in quotes. As a multifamily visionary, he has over 25 years of experience working in all phases of real estate investing and brings his client a fresh perspective and a clear vision for strategic development using tools in the tax code, such as the 1031 exchange and the SEC 121 primary residence exclusion. I'm excited to hear that one. As an investor himself, he views each investment as a unique opportunity to maximize returns. A degreed accountant with a master's in management, Dave has just released the best-selling book, Lifetime Tax-Free Wealth, The Real Estate Investor's Guide to the 1031 Exchange. So Dave, tell us what we're missing.
My gosh, I fell asleep in that intro. I don't know what your guest did. All you had to say was, Dave Foster is a real estate investor with more than a touch of ADD.
I think we all have a touch of that.
I never met a real estate deal I didn't want to do or try to do. And real estate, just from our early days as a married couple, real estate has always been, like you and I were discussing before the show, the vehicle to changing your life. And so when I view it with that and with this whole ready, fire, aim mentality that I've got going on, I just love real estate. It soothes my ADD.
That said perfectly, Dave, perfectly. So let's just get right into this, because I'm sure a lot of the viewers, have heard this term called 1031 exchange, but why don't you give the audience an explanation of what it really is and how investors can use it to their advantage?
Yeah, 1031 is one of those, I want to say it's a hidden secret, but it's really not, because it's been part of the tax code since 1920. It's just that people did not understand it, and it wasn't user-friendly until about 1996, when the IRS lost the 20-year court case. Now, can you imagine how happy the IRS was to have fought a guy named Stucker for 20 years and then lose? They weren't happy at all. But they had to then let us do 1031 exchanges in such a way that they became available and doable for people like you and me. And what a 1031 exchange does, it's very simple. You get to sell investment real estate that you either have a profit in or that you have held for a long enough period of time that you have a lot of depreciation that has been built up in it. And you get to sell that real estate and go buy any other type of real estate as long as it's used for investment. And you get to indefinitely defer paying tax on the profit you normally would. So what that does is that lets those tax dollars stay in your pocket being used for you. It's a form of compound interest. And for me, it stemmed 30 plus years ago. I made my first real estate mistake, and it was on my first transaction. I bought a duplex in Denver, Colorado, fixed it up, put a renter in it, sold it later. And this was in the mid-90s, right when that case law was coming down. And I thought I did because my wife and I had set a goal to, within 10 years, to buy a sailboat, move our children on it, and live off our real estate holdings. That was the goal. This first transaction, I was like, yeah, we got this. Till my accountant reminded me at the end of the year that I have a silent partner, and his name is Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam took $30,000 from that transaction from me. What makes that so poignant and powerful is that if I had done a 1031 exchange, if I would have known about that, $30,000 would have stayed with me for 30 plus years, making money for me. And we know that, like, if you're making 10% of your money, it's going to double every 7 years. So if I would have had 4 or 5 or 6 multiples of that $30,000, how much more money would I have today?
I need my calculator on that one.
One transaction. It still keeps me up at night. That's the power of the 1031 exchange, is you get to indefinitely defer paying that tax. And there's actually a number of ways of completely eliminating that tax. But the point is, you get to use the money for yourself. And so that's what we started doing immediately. And I love it that you mentioned the 121 primary residence exemption, because in my mind, this is the single greatest wealth building gift that the IRS has ever given. Because Section 121 says that all you have to do is buy a house, move into it, live in it, and once you have lived in it for at least 2 out of the 5 years prior to selling it. You get to, if you're married, take the first $500,000 of profit tax-free. No tax, tax-free. And you can do that once every 2 years. So if what the National Association of Realtors tells us, that generally we stay in our primary residences 5 to 8 years. If all you do is buy a house, move into it, live in it, and then move, you're statistically going to have 8 to 10 opportunities to take $500,000 of profit tax-free. How does it get any better than that?
That's awesome. As long as your house appreciates.
Well, that's exactly right. But what do we know historically over the last 100 years? Real estate has appreciated, and there's blips. Yep, sometimes you gotta hold on, but in general, it always goes up.
Well, that's a good one. I didn't know about the 121, so thanks for bringing that up. I always learn something new.
Well, just tax real estate profits by getting rid of the 1031 exchange.
The government doesn't want to be in real estate, and that's why they have such things as a 1031 exchange.
We're affecting the people that we really want to help.
Jacqueline and Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of Get Diversified. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Finally, stop by our website and follow us on social media. Ciao for now. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, get diversified.